And today I'm absolutely delighted to have a special guest from Scotland, Dr. Morven Gregor. And he is a leading institutional curator with a strong academy profile and increasing international visibility through Scotland plus Venice project. Dr. Morven Gregor is Commissioner of Scotland plus Venice 2026, leading Scotland participation at the 61st International Art Exhibition of La Biennale. And she oversees the national presentation and its international cultural strategy supporting Scotland contemporary voices on the global stage. Thank you to be here with me, Dr. Morven Gregor. I'm so happy.
I'm delighted to be here, Simona. This is a lovely opportunity. I should just say that my role has been very much as curator for the Scotland and Venice project, and those wider national responsibilities would fall with my colleague Emma Nicholson from Creative Scotland. But as you can imagine, like any presentation at the Biennale, there's a huge team of people involved. But yeah, just we've all got different particular roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, so first of all, I would like to highlight the complex and incredible team of artists and creatives that you put together to create this project, Shame Parade. The artists are Bugarin Castle. And can you explain us how did you conceive the need, but also the opportunity of developing such an interesting topics through different, strategies and creating process?
Yeah. So Angel Cohen Castle and Davide Bugarin work together as Bugarin and Castle. And here at Mount Stewart on the island of Bute, where I work full time, we were in conversation with Davide and Angel about maybe doing a project for here, maybe over the next couple of years. And at the same time that we were having these conversations, Creative Scotland, which is the major funding body, carried out a big review, or had been carrying out a review of Scotland's presence in Venice as a collateral event. There hadn't been a Scottish presentation for a few years, but I'm delighted to say that the partnership of Scotland and Venice, including my colleague Emma Nicholson and others, decided that Scotland should go back to Venice. So the next step on the journey was for them to issue an open call to any artists and organisations in Scotland who were interested in curating and making work for La Biennale. And I'm delighted to say that we worked closely with Angel and Davide and other project partners, including Forma, which is a art film producing company, to make a pitch, and then we were delighted to be successful and to be awarded the opportunity to present work for Venice. So that's the kind of background, how the project came into being on the kind of organizational level. But then, of course, there was the deep dive into research, into themes, ideas, and of course, making and then installing the work.
Yeah, and First of all, we are so happy that Scotland had decided to keep on going in this path and to represent itself, but also to bring together such a huge culture, because you are bringing in your immense culture here, and so we are always open to understand and to know more about such an incredible country like Scotland. And I want to have more information on how you develop the shame as a fear, the shame as a process to be also relieved from the mind and the soul of the people. So this is really interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, as with any art project, there's so many layers happening, but a starting point for the project was Davide was working in the Philippines on a project doing architectural sound mapping of the capital city, Manila. And he came across an interesting anomaly in the patterns of sound at night in particular areas. And one area in particular that became unusually quiet was a cemetery. But the cemetery in Manila, this particular cemetery, isn't maybe like one we would have in Scotland beside a church, or maybe even like one I visited in Venice. It was very much a lively place where people have houses, and people live there and go about their day-to-day business, sometimes looking after the mausoleums. So this was quite strange that this place became quiet in the evening. And when Davide wondered why that was, he came across this word, charivari, which I think is probably a French word, but has similar words across Europe. And he was wondering what this was. And in the Philippines, it says in the legal code, nobody should carry out a charivari or make any other noise after 10 o'clock at night in this area. So that then started a whole line of inquiry by the artists. What was charivari? And also, obviously, I've kind of joined that inquiry as well, and researching into a very strange medieval practice that, as I say, was common across Europe and, including Scotland, including Italy, whereby people who were regarded by their community to be not conforming to social expectations, particularly around sexual politics or gender-specific behaviour or stereotypes, would be publicly shamed. And this could be, a woman that was regarded as being too strong, a man that was maybe regarded as being too effeminate, maybe an older man that married a younger woman, anybody that wasn't conforming to strict kind of expectations. And they would be shamed by either directly, but usually indirectly, people dressing up as them and parading those dressed up people or mannequins on horseback, often facing the wrong way, usually dressed contrary to their gender. So a woman dressed as a man dressed as a woman, and with a lot of loud noise so that nobody could miss this parade. There would be banging pots and blowing horns, and, it would be quite a scene, and then usually go past the house where the transgressive person was living. So really just heaping embarrassment and shame on this person as a tool of social control. So Angel and Davide were very interested in various aspects of that. The idea of shame the idea of public shame, but then also the idea that cross-dressing or drag being used as something negative rather than something celebratory. I mean, today, you know, on TV, we have drag queens that are seen as being very glamorous and entertaining and fun. But this was very unlike that. This was very much, oh, ha ha ha, look at that person. So those kind of themes come into the artwork in various ways. We see it throughout the film work, Submit to Sound. We see it also echoed in the sculpture, which an element of is in the background that you have there.
Yeah.
And this idea of shaming actually runs throughout the exhibition. And then, of course, you know, you're kind of contrasting. The more usual expression might be a pride parade, where queer and trans people have an annual celebration. And there's an element of response to that in the exhibition as well.
So what conversations do you hope visitors will have after experiencing the exhibition? I have to say that just from the press kit I received, there are so many inputs and images and, different information that can lead to different questions. So what would you like to have as a feedback?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, there are so many different conversations, and I think every visitor will produce a new question and a new way of understanding what they see. But I think for me, there's at heart, there's a deep humanity to the project. There's a call not to judge, and maybe to broaden one's understanding and kind of solidarity with people regardless of differences. And as well as those kind of feelings, then maybe just not judging things on first appearance. I think that kind of works in some of the sculptural works in particular. They're quite complex, and particularly the piece Nocturnal Amusements literally cannot be seen in its entirety from one standing point. You have to walk around it to fully experience it. And that in some ways points to not judging people on first appearance, or always wanting to ask a wee bit more, a sort of inspiration to look a wee bit more closely, and as you say, just to ask some questions to broaden understanding and appreciation of there being more than one way to live a life.
So which were the main challenges that you have to cope to realize all the pavilion, I mean, to put together all these researches, historical pieces, artists? I think it has been quite difficult. So...
I mean, it's always creating any work is a challenge, but it's an interesting challenge, and you know, that's the privilege of my job, is to be part of that. I think you know, there wasn't a lot of time for our presentation between the open call and the opening. It was less than a year. So we worked really hard, but we did have a very hard working team. I mentioned Forma, the artists themselves, technical manager, film crew, and no doubt lots of others, lots of people that are maybe on the more sort of administrative or supportive side that don't also maybe get their moments of appreciation. So a huge lot of work. I suppose big challenges are always deadlines, getting everything ready in time, and then the logistics of moving work from Scotland to Italy, and some of the decision making around that. So one of the pieces was actually we decided to fabricate in Italy, which in some ways is a nice thing to do because it consolidates a relationship across national boundaries and puts something back into Italian economy. And then I suppose one of the other challenges was around the musicians involved in the film work are based in Manila, are based in the Philippines. And so obviously there's always issues around visas and international travel as well. In these times has been particularly challenging. So I mean those are some of the challenges, but the absolute joy and enthusiasm just makes it all worthwhile and helps us to navigate all of these sticking points.
And looking beyond Venice, what legacy do you hope this exhibition will leave for the artist and for Scotland's cultural landscape?
Yeah, I mean, for the artists, I really hope that more people get to know them and their work, and we hope we will tour the exhibition, but also there may be scope for new commissions for them and new opportunities for them. For us, the exhibition will return to Scotland in 2027. So we'll present that here at Mount Stewart on the island of Bute, and we hope lots of people from Italy and elsewhere will come to our island to see the work in our very different setting. Our exhibition space isn't a white cube. It's a neo-Gothic mansion, more like a palazzo, but quite an incredible building in its own right. So I'm very much looking forward to positioning the work here. And then after here, it will go on tour around the UK. So there'll be quite a longevity to Shame Parade. But then also come 2028, Scotland will be back in Venice. And I'm not sure if I'll have any role in that, but I would be very delighted to support friends and colleagues and whoever answers the open call next time round, because it is delightful for Scotland to be back. I think, Scotland is a small country, but it does have a huge international reputation.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we love Scotland. Yes, definitely. And Scotland people. And so, what would you like to say to the international audience before they visit the Scottish pavilion?
Yeah, well, please come and find us, come and talk to us. We have an incredible team of young people who are enthusiastic about the work, who are developing, they're at early career stages themselves as emerging artists. Some of them are still at art school. They will be delighted to talk to everybody who visits about the work, about their own practice, some of the projects they're trying to develop, and also about Scotland and about Bute.
Okay, so I invite everyone to reach out to the pavilion, Scotland pavilion. Thank you very much, Dr. Gregor. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, and just remind us where is located the pavilion and the specific information to review, maybe your sites and something. And of course, we wish you every success at the first Venice 61 Venice Biennale.
Thank you very much, Simona. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and your audiences. And yes, we're in Castello. We're in a venue, excuse my pronunciation, I call it Olivolo. It's in San Pietro, right beside the cathedral and the campanile that they've just taken down the scaffolding. So if you are exiting the Arsenale from the back entrance, you cross a little bridge and you find us very, very easily. If you are coming up via Garibaldi, you go over one canal and then you pass by Icelandic Pavilion, Catalan Pavilion, and then you follow some signs to Scotland plus Venice, and we're right there. But we're in a lovely little park with green grass and lovely trees, so it's quite a nice spot to take a break from the heat.
Okay, I found the exact address for you, Olivolo, Castello 59/C in Venice, and you can find the pavilion from the 9th May of course, the inauguration of Biennale until Sunday, 22nd November 2026. It's open from Tuesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. And we decided to open at 10 for any early birds because the Biennale
okay.
Until 11.
Yes, we have early birds here in Italy. It's not so much like in Scotland, but a few early birds like me. We are good to go. Okay. Thank you very much to Dr. Morven Gregor, the curator of Scotland Plus Venice 2026.
Thank you.